Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's third video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's third video. Day 10 will take us to the 2nd of December, into the final month of the year, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that. We extend GFS and ECM ensembles over around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFSV2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, and that will take us, you know, right way to the latter stages of December, or certainly into the second half of the month anyway. So I shall get on that for you very shortly. Just say that the first video today was our 7 AM upload. We've also had a look at the GMA season model for the coming winter as well. So check that one out. That's ahead of the final season model roundup. It's going to be released on Saturday for winter 2021-2022. And if that wasn't enough, at 6 PM we're going to have part 2 of the 12th winter 2021-2022 update. That is the analog side of the 12th update. And we're focusing on Atlantic hurricane and also Eurasian snow cover analogues. With that one, something a little bit different for part 2 of the 12th winter update. Please check out that video if you'd like to do that. We're nearly at the end of our winter updates now. We've just got the 13th update to go. That'll be in 2 parts on this coming Sunday and next Monday. So how interesting and exciting is that? And then we've got to release our winter forecast on the 2nd of December. So it's all getting very, very serious now with the winter updates. Right, okay, I'm off on a tangent. I'm so sorry, everybody. Let's start off with the central intention. So CT is currently sitting at 9.3. It's beginning to come down. That's starting to drop. It was 9.5 the day before. So that is still 2.2 degrees above average, though. That's provisional, just say the 23rd of November. That's going to start coming down over the next few days. We're expecting it to finish up somewhere in the 7s, so we wait and see where that will finish. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. Next couple of weeks, we're at Hellswall today. Heswall, I should say. Heswall. This is a suggested, Heswall, isn't it? This is a suggested location for this part of the video. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Heswall. We're starting off around average at the moment. We're going to see the upper air temperature going warmer than average, though, in the next couple of days. A little bit milder than average will be upper air temperature. However, it'll be anticyclonic base, so it'll probably still be quite cold on the surface. And then after that, we have about around a week of cold and average weather coming up. That takes us through to month's end. Early December, still that warming trend in evidence. We still see things getting milder as we move on into the first week or so of December. So after a cold end to November, milder for the first week of December. Precipitation-wise, quite a bit of dry weather coming up over the next few days, and it starts getting more unsettled. Of course, this period just here, as it will be quite cold. That will be rain and potentially sleet, and maybe even a little bit of snow for some places. And then looks quite unsettled through the first week of December now, actually. So mild and wet, perhaps, through the first week of December. A little bit of a change on what we've had for a while. There is more precipitation spikes. We see more precipitation spikes there than we've seen for quite some time. Temperature anomalies from the 22nd to the 30th of November going to be colder than average. Not just for the UK, but through most parts of Europe. And it's something we have not seen for a very long time. So widely below average temperatures from the 22nd of November to the 30th. Precipitation-wise, going to be drier than average, much of England, Wales and Ireland, but it does sound a little bit wetter across Scotland. That might be the trend as we go into December, and milder, of course. Latest wind from that from earthnullschool.net shows that we're still pulling in pretty cold air from the northeast across the south anyway. In the northern half of the country, the winds are beginning to back round into west. That's that slight lift up in the temperature that's going to take place through the middle part of this week. But again, it will be quite anticyclonic based, so not going to be necessarily all that much milder down in the south, especially under that area of high pressure. And we'll pull wind back into the north again in the second half of the week. And that shows up quite nicely on this chart, which is the UK Met Euro for Thursday, midnight on Thursday. Winds are pulling in from the north then, so cold air is beginning to move south. So you get this area of low pressure. starting to push down towards northern parts of Scotland as we get through to Friday. That low pressure then sinks through the country from Friday into Saturday. That will bring outbreaks of rain, and as it turns the wind into the north-northeast in its wake, that starts to drag colder air in from the northeast, and some of that precipitation might turn to snow, especially over high ground in the north as we go into the weekend. The low pressure sinks away to the south, and winds are in from the northeast on midnight on Sunday. Looks as though it would be quite cold and wintry, that, doesn't it? Quite a cold weekend coming up into Opal next week. Probably starting to back wind round into the west. That's 29th of November. Just starting to back wind round into the west as low pressure moves in from off the Atlantic. So it begins to get a little bit milder perhaps by the beginning of next week. That's as far as we go for UK Met Euro. Let's push over to the GFS. It's the GFS midnight run. Again, Thursday, bringing in those northerly winds. It looks quite cold as we go through into the latter stages of the week. Then this area of low pressure moves in towards northern Scotland. Midnight on Friday, that sinks down through the country as we go into the weekend. This is quite an unusual pattern, by the way. See low pressure sinking across Western Europe like that. It's something we had quite a lot of last winter. We're already seeing signs of that recurring, you know, with the amplification of the Atlantic as this ridge is pushing northwards, sending a jet stream on the areas of low pressure southwards. So instead of the areas of low pressure taking their normal course, which is in that direction, from Greenland to Iceland to Norway, they go in that direction instead, which is a little bit unusual actually, although we did see quite a bit of that last winter, and we're already seeing that recurring as we haven't even started this winter, but getting closer to this winter. Anyway, the low pressure sinking southwards Friday through to Saturday, taking outbreaks of rain with it, and there could be sleet and snow, of course, as we pull in these colder north-northeasterly winds as well. That low pressure sort of slips away towards northern parts of France. Winds are in from a northeasterly direction as we move through into Sunday. Early next week, keeping things looking pretty chilly, really. Low pressure is away to our north, and we're sort of lining up the jet stream on a northwest-southeast alignment, a little bit like that. So we're still on the cool side of the jet stream, more or less there, as we're moving into the early part of next week. Another sort of renewed northerly shot there for the 1st of December, as the next low sort of slips through to our east. It's a very subtle pattern, this. These are slider lows, and so if low pressure is a little bit further north, then it turns into a milder pattern. But actually, the GFS midnight run looks quite chilly for the end of November into the beginning of December, with winds consistent remaining from the north or northeasterly direction up to the 2nd of December. However, in the very extended range, we then turn milder as that wind backs round into west-southwest high pressure from the Azores, strengthening to west of Spain and Portugal. Low pressure deepening around Iceland, so going into much more of a positive LEO type setup there. And that carries us through then, right way through to the end of GFS midnight run, which does look quite mild. Although by the very end of it, which is the 8th of December, maybe signs of a little bit more amplification in the Atlantic, starting to push that ridge northwards, sending the jet streams southeastwards again, and possibly starting to get another one of these low pressures beginning to dive through the western side of Europe. So finishing up on what looks like a rather chillier note, perhaps, by the 8th of December. That's a very long way out, of course. So this is how the 6 days looking, very latest, just updated. So again, Thursday we've got winds in from the north, will be quite cold, and low pressure pushing in on Friday. That bring heavy rain, even in the south. It's been a very, very dry November across many parts of the country, particularly in the south. But this could bring some really wet weather, even to southern parts of the country at the end of the week. But the low pressure sort of slips through the country, goes from north to south, starts pulling these cold northerly winds in its wake, even northeasterlies perhaps by Sunday. So the weekend looks quite cold, and there is a little bit of wintry potential in there as well. Maybe by the second half of this week, we might even do a snow watch. How does that sound? We'll see. By the time you get through to the beginning of next week, the wind starts to back round into west, very further north, with those areas of low pressure on the 6th edge. So instead of being on the cold side of jet stream, with both slider lows, they're further north. And so early next week, we start to allow milder air in from the west. Although, moving up towards day 10, we have a go at pulling in a little bit of a northerly there. But actually, that doesn't come off. Day 10 just looks wet and windy on this GFS 6 everyone, which is 2nd of December again. Low pressures further north, bringing outbreaks of rain, quite strong winds eastwards across the country as well. In more extended range, we keep that unsettled weather going until the very end, when we start to break out of that unsettled weather as heights begin to rise to our east. Low pressure is out to west. That looks very mild. We're drawing up the wind from a southerly direction there. However, we are raising the heights a little bit towards Scandinavia. So could that be the beginnings of a Scandi getting going? Who knows? It's over 2 weeks away, so it almost certainly won't verify. This is how the GM is looking again. Winds are in from north. If you're enjoying the video, please can you smash the like button by the way. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. And drop a comment. Let us know about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much. We've got to put on around, I think it's around 85 subscribers to get to 12.7k. We hit 12.6k yesterday. So the next sort of mini target is 12.7k. The ultimate target is 13,000 subscribers. Got to put on around 85 now to get to 12.7k. So please give us a sub, tell friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. GM, again, putting in those cold northerly winds on Thursday. And then this area of low pressure comes sliding in from the north as we go through into Friday. That low pressure then slips southwards in towards northern parts of France and the Low Countries by midnight on Saturday, pulling even colder air in from the north and from the northeast in its wake. That looks pretty cold on Sunday, with again a northerly, northeasterly established across the country. Some wintry showers definitely possible this weekend. And then in comes the next low as we go through into Monday. That's further north, so it does have a bigger, it does have quite a big warm sector associated with it. So that'll bring outbreaks of rain and slightly milder air in from off the Atlantic early next week. As we get to day 10, we're looking pretty wet and windy with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the west of Portugal. That's the Azores, high, of course, ever present. And winds are in from a westerly direction. Maybe we could start turning wind back round into the northwest as that low pressure pushes through towards Norway. But it's all Atlantic driven. It says also the first week or so of December is going to be Atlantic driven and therefore probably quite mild. The ECM looks like that. Again, winds from the north on Thursday. Low pressure drops in from the north Friday into Saturday. That's bringing outbreaks of rain with it. There will be sleet and snow over high ground, and particularly in the wake of that low pressure, the wind pulls in to the north and into the northeast as well. That's Sunday, all much of a muchness of all of the other model output winds from the northeast, so bound to be quite cold. And yeah, you know, rather wintry potential over the weekend. So we've got next area of low pressure, which is just here as we go through into midnight on Sunday. By midnight on Monday, low pressure is also slipping south. So this is a little bit different compared to the other model output. That low also slipping down the east side of the country, just within cold air, might keep wintry potential going, therefore, into the beginning of next week. This ridge then builds in from the Atlantic through to Tuesday, which dries things out, but is still quite cold as winds are coming in from the north. Then the next low is a bit further northward, so that brings something a little bit milder through by the start of December, especially so for more southern areas. Could still be quite cold though up in the north. Very subtle pattern this. You know, just on a knife edge between being quite cold or quite chilly and relatively mild. That's day 10, which takes low pressure to Denmark, and we keep things looking pretty cool still, even with winds in from the northwest. However, with this area of low pressure just to the south of Greenland, and the high pressure from the Azores being to ridge a little bit further northwards, there's a big warm sector just there, and I reckon that's got our name on it. So if we go any further with the ECM, we will probably find things getting quite a lot milder, you know, further on into the first week of December. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. Plenty of dry weather to come over the next few days to the south, a little bit more unsettled in the north. We push through towards the end of the week, and we're going to bring wet weather in from the north as that low pressure moves southwards through Friday. That bring outbreaks of rain. There could be a little bit of sleet or snow associated with that, especially over high ground. It's suggesting like a little bit of snow there for the Midlands, especially the North Midlands, for example, up towards parts of northern England as well. And then as the low pressure sort of slips through, that's when the cold air moves in from the north, northeast, and a lot of the precipitation begins to turn to snow across Ireland, Scotland, and western parts of the country as well. So, you know, it's not going to be blizzards, it's not going to be deep snow, deep crisp and even, but there will be little bits of snow around at the end of the week and into the weekend. And then, sort of towards the end of the weekend, that's that next little low ring down the eastern side of the country on Sunday through to Monday. And so that's bringing a slightly increased snow risk to more eastern areas, perhaps. Maybe like northern eastern areas might get a little snow from that low if it comes off. It probably won't. It's too far out for that sort of, you know, to be certain about what's going to happen with that low. But anyway, a little bit of wintry potential end of week and into weekend. That all gets out of the way. And then we're back in much more in towards rain by the time we get through towards day 10. This is the option on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 2nd of December. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, all of them, have high pressure in the Atlantic and sending a ridge north with low pressure to our east and northeast. And so, you know, quite chilly really with winds in from a northwesterly direction. Devil's in the detail with that, of course, but, you know, quite cool at times with that. Around day 10. Whoops, so we don't want to go there, we want to go there. Right, in 2 weeks' time, these are the options, this is the option that we've got. Gets us to the 7th of December. 51 out of 51 members of the ECM ensembles, all of them have high pressure to our west and southwest, low pressure to our north. So winds there a little bit more westerly, so that's rather milder. By the time we get through to 2 weeks out, we've got a little bit milder. Still some ridging in the Atlantic, though. It wouldn't take all that much to get wind back into the north. But as it is, it looks like most of the ensemble members there from the ECM want to turn winds a little bit more westerly by the time we get through to the end of the first week of December, which would be a rather milder wind direction. Right, last thing to look at is CFS-E2. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 22nd, 28th of November. The coming week, we'll have above average heights to our west, below average heights to our south and northeast. Winds will be coming in from a northerly, northeasterly direction. It's quite cold in the week ahead. Week 2 is 29th of November, 5th of December. High pressure still to our west, low pressure being pushed further eastwards. So look pretty cool there, quite cold really. Winds remaining from a northwesterly direction. Week 3 is milder. This is the 6th through to the 12th of December with high pressure then to our south-southwest, low pressure to our north. Winds are back in from a westerly direction. So that's still bringing a lot of dry weather, especially to the south, but it is a milder situation. And then week 4 is the 13th to the 19th of December. High pressure then down towards Spain, low pressure over Scandinavia. So that's going to be quite mild again. It's almost turning cold across Scandinavia though. Just turn that, take that trough low pressure a little bit further eastwards. That would start to bring colder air in across northern parts of Europe. But for us, we're looking pretty mild there through the middle part of December. Temperature anomalies with CFS-E2 for week 1, 22nd, 28th November, are colder than average. Week 2, though, goes milder than average. I reckon this could still be quite a cool week, though. This is 29th of November, 5th December. Bit above average temperature anomaly. I reckon it could be, you know, colder than that. But week 3 looks fine. This is the 6th to the 12th of December. You would expect a mild week there. That's what the model is showing. And then week 4 is also forecast to have above average temperatures from the 13th to the 19th of December. Could be shaping up for quite a mild, certainly first half of December here. Precipitation-wise, week 1, which is 22nd to 28th November, is drier than normal. So a cold, dry week starts off. Week 2, 29th November, 5th December, that one goes a little bit more unsettled, particularly so in more northern areas. Week 3 is the 6th to the 12th of December. Again, looks a little bit more unsettled in the north, near average rainfall elsewhere. And then week 4, which is the 13th to 19th of December, that one is looking, that one is looking about average with precipitation. I think we're losing a single though, the further out we're going. Right, there we go, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. And drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. That's amazing. That's incredible. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, so we've got more cold weather to come over the next few days. Might be a little bit of wintriness around the end of the week and into the weekend as well, as that like low pressure sinks southwards through the country. It does look as though the start of December is going to turn milder, I think. Although we have got suggestions of a few slider lows and whatnot, but could just keep us in the cold air. But I think we're going to push milder air in through the first week to 10 days of December. And then where we go after that, you know, it remains to be seen, of course. And we'll keep you posted about all of that. Right, so that's it. We're done with this video. Please, can you come back at 6 PM and have a look at part 2 of the 12th Winter 2021-2022 update. It's the analog side of the 12th update, and we'll be looking at hurricanes through accumulated cyclone energy, and also above average hurricane seasons as well. If that wasn't enough, we will also have a look at Eurasia snow cover in the month of October. So very interesting, rather different update to come at 6 PM for part 2 of the 12th Winter 2021-2022 update. Just saying what's coming up tomorrow. We've got 7 AM broadcast. We will have the ECM WF extended look ahead for the UK and for Northern Europe as well, and a 10 to 14 dayer also, so keep checking back for all of the updates. But for this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.